So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first?
He performed.
Snoop is just really hilarious.
Snoop Dogg is funny,
He's doing all the.
Snoop Dogg just got a public warning, and it didn't come from the streets or the police. It came from Katt Williams himself. Yeah, that Katt, the comedian who never holds back, never filters his words, and doesn't care if people feel uncomfortable. This time, Katt has his eyes on Snoop Dogg, and he's accusing him of changing and getting too involved in politics. Katt said Snoop is becoming a political dog. He even warned him, your career down the road, people might not want to book you in Texas or Arizona or California. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Let's let that happen. That wasn't a joke. That was a serious warning. When Katt Williams speaks, it's usually not random. He doesn't talk just for attention. He talks when he thinks something is wrong. And according to Katt, Snoop might be stepping into a dangerous place where loyalty, power, and truth crash into each other. Katt has been calling out big famous people lately. Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley. Nobody has been safe from his opinions. But this time feels different because Snoop isn't just famous, Snoop is a whole brand. He went from Death Row Records to daytime TV, from the streets to shaking hands at the White House. That's a huge change. At one point, Snoop even said, all you people working for the government who aren't getting paid right now, there's no way you can vote for Donald Trump again. If you do, you're stupid. That was old Snoop, loud, bold, speaking his mind. But now, people noticed something new. Snoop performed at an event connected to Trump called the Crypto Ball, and people were shocked. They were like, wait, isn't this the same Snoop from 2016 who was criticizing artists for doing stuff like that? So now people are wondering, did Snoop change for good? Katt Williams thinks he did. Katt basically said, Snoop ain't the same Snoop anymore. In Katt's eyes, Snoop went from standing with regular people to standing with powerful people. That's a big shift. Snoop responded to the backlash and said something like, we always tear each other down. When someone gets criticized, it becomes the whole community attacking them. But many people didn't agree with that. They said it's not the community doing the harm, it's politicians tearing down DEI, affirmative action, and families. People were disappointed because they saw Snoop as someone who stood for something, and now they feel like he's moving differently. Katt even joked about Snoop's image now. When did they start selling pimp clothes at Baby Gap? Katt has given Snoop respect before. He's admitted Snoop opened doors for West Coast hip-hop and helped spread the culture worldwide. But Katt believes something got lost along the way. The raw edge, the real street voice, the man who pushed back against the system instead of smiling beside it. Katt believes Snoop started showing up at political events, supporting certain celebrities, staying quiet about serious issues, and focusing more on business than truth. Katt has a famous saying, when they can't control you, they cancel you, and when they can't cancel you, they recruit you. In Katt's mind, Snoop didn't get canceled, he got recruited. Katt also noticed Snoop staying neutral during big hip-hop industry problems. When artists said they were being pushed out, Snoop stayed quiet. When people talked about exploitation, silence. But when it was time for Hollywood parties and celebrations, Snoop was front row, smiling. To Katt, that looked like protecting his seat at the table instead of standing with the people. So when Katt said, I'm sending Snoop his last warning, stop being a political dog, he meant it. Katt says there are two types of dogs, the street dog, loyal, hungry, fearless. The political dog, trained, polished, careful. Katt says Snoop used to be the first type, but now he's acting like the second, and that's why people are talking. Snoop is on TV more than in the studio now. He's doing cooking shows, brand deals, ads, products. You see him with recipes instead of rally cries. Now, there's nothing wrong with growing up or leveling up, but Katt isn't questioning success. He's questioning direction. Did Snoop grow as a person or just as a brand? Katt says he never chased Hollywood approval. He's been blocked from rooms, laughed at, pushed out, but he kept speaking his truth. That's why people respect him. He's not afraid to lose deals if it means staying honest. So when Katt throws out a warning like this, people listen because he's not worried about fame. He's worried about people losing the truth. There's history between them, Both West Coast, both respected. They've shared stages and interviews. But over time, Katt noticed Snoop staying friendly with the same Hollywood names Katt was calling out. While Katt was naming names, Snoop stayed silent. And Katt says silence can be a problem. Katt drew a hard line. You can't be for the people and still shake hands with the puppeteers. That message was aimed at Snoop. And this isn't the first time Snoop's loyalty has been questioned. Back in the death row days, he was deep in the streets. After Tupac died, he distanced himself from Suge Knight. Then he moved to No Limit Records, then corporate deals, then Hollywood. Snoop has reinvented himself again and again. That's part of why he's still successful, but it's also why some fans side-eye his moves. Katt isn't mad at the hustle, he's questioning the spirit behind it. He believes Snoop used to lead the culture, but now he's moving with the system instead of challenging it. The internet is split. Some people say Katt is just bitter, Snoop is evolving like a smart businessman. Others say Katt is saying what everyone whispers, Snoop has gone too corporate. And maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle, because this isn't just about two entertainers arguing, it's about what happens when fame collides with authenticity. Snoop represents survival, Katt represents rebellion, two mindsets crashing, play the game or expose it. Katt believes Snoop has gone so deep into the game that coming back clean might not even be possible. When Katt says last warning, it sounds serious. Some fans think he means karma, others think he means balance, because when you stand on both sides can turn on you. Katt is basically saying, once you stop talking for the people stop talking for you. That hit hard. He's warning every entertainer who forgets their roots. Don't let the system reshape you into something polished and controlled, because once your real voice fades, they won't need you anymore. Snoop's journey shows how complicated fame is. He's been everything: rapper, icon, businessman, actor, mogul. But the question is, at what cost? No one can erase what Snoop did for the culture. He built West Coast hip-hop, he helped artists, he stayed relevant for decades. But with every polished move, the whispers get louder. Has he gotten too comfortable, too smooth, too political? The same Snoop who once pushed back now sits beside the system, and that's what Katt Williams can't accept. So what happens next? Maybe silence, or maybe sparks fly. Because in this industry, silence doesn't always mean peace. Sometimes it means something big is happening behind the curtain. And one thing is clear, when Katt says this is your last warning, he's not playing. Snoop Dogg just got a warning. Not from the streets, not from the police, not from the courts, but from Katt Williams. And when Katt Williams gives you a warning, it's never small. It wasn't a joke, it wasn't a punchline, it wasn't for laughs, it sounded serious. Katt looked straight at the situation and basically said, Snoop, you're changing, and not in a good way. That's heavy, because Snoop Dogg isn't just a rapper, he's not just a celebrity, he's a legend. He's someone who survived the wildest era of hip-hop. He stood next to Tupac. He was part of Death Row Records, a label known for power and controversy. He survived that era. That alone is rare. Many didn't make it. After Tupac passed, Snoop slowly stepped away from that chaos. He moved labels, he changed business partners, he reinvented himself.
That reinvention is part of his genius. He didn't stay stuck. He went from gangster rap icon to mainstream superstar. He worked with pop artists. He appeared on TV. He built businesses. He created brands. He became bigger than music. And honestly, that's smart. But here's the tension. When you become part of the system, can you still fight the system? That's what Katt questions. Katt Williams built his career differently. He never tried to be polished. He never tried to be corporate. He stayed loud. He stayed unpredictable. He called out people by name. He risked deals. He risked fame. And because of that, he's been pushed out of rooms. He's been arrested. He's been blocked. But he never changed his tone. That's why some people respect him deeply. He doesn't bend. So when Katt sees Snoop smiling next to politicians, it bothers him. When he sees Snoop neutral during big industry controversies, it bothers him. When he sees Snoop defend unity but not address real issues, it bothers him. Katt believes silence can be loud. He believes neutrality can protect power. And he believes legends have responsibility. From Katt's view, Snoop used to lead the culture. Now he's maintaining his seat at the table. That's the difference. Leadership versus comfort. But here's where things get complicated. Is Snoop wrong for evolving? Is he wrong for protecting his empire? He has employees, he has businesses, he has a family. He's not just a rapper anymore, he's a mogul. And moguls move carefully. Every word can affect millions of dollars. Every action can impact partnerships. Maybe Snoop isn't selling out. Maybe he's surviving differently. Maybe he learned that burning bridges isn't power, it's isolation. But to Katt, isolation is strength. To Katt, comfort is weakness. That's why this clash feels deep. It's two philosophies. One says, play smart, stay in the room, influence quietly. The other says, expose everything, even if it costs you. Neither is simple. Neither is easy. And that's why the internet is split. Some fans say Katt sounds bitter. They say Snoop earned his peace. They say growth doesn't mean betrayal. Others say Katt is brave. They say someone has to call out power. They say once you get too close to the machine, you stop being independent. But here's the truth. Fame changes people. Money changes options. Access changes perspective. Snoop at 20 isn't Snoop at 50. He's lived. He's seen things. He's buried friends. He's built empires. Maybe he doesn't feel the need to fight loudly anymore. Maybe he thinks being present in powerful rooms is smarter than shouting outside them. But Katt doesn't trust powerful rooms. He thinks they reshape you, polish you, train you, turn you into something smoother, less sharp. And that's why he used the phrase political dog. Not wild anymore, not unpredictable, but trained, careful, safe. And to Katt, safe isn't real. This situation isn't about one event. It's about identity. Can you move with politicians and still be for the people? Can you build corporations and still represent rebellion? Can you sit at the table without becoming part of it? There's no simple answer. But when Katt said last warning, it felt symbolic, like he was speaking to more than just Snoop, like he was speaking to every entertainer who started raw and ended polished. He's saying, don't forget your roots. Because once the people feel like you forgot them, they move on. And history shows that fame is fragile. Legends fall when the culture turns. But legends also grow. And maybe Snoop believes growth is more important than approval. Maybe he doesn't feel the need to explain himself. Maybe silence is his response. Or maybe something bigger is brewing behind the scenes. For now, all we have is tension. Two icons, two paths, two different ideas of what it means to stay real. And the world is watching. Because when rebel energy meets empire energy, it never stays quiet for long. So where does this leave us? Two legends, two different paths, one loud warning hanging in the air. Katt Williams says Snoop Dogg is changing in a way that feels dangerous. Snoop Dogg seems unbothered, steady, moving how he wants to move. And the culture? The culture is watching. But here's the real question. Not just about Snoop, not just about Katt. What does it mean to stay real? Is staying real about never changing? Or is it about surviving long enough to build something bigger? Because let's be honest, life changes people, success changes people, responsibility changes people. The 20-year-old version of anyone is different from the 50-year-old version. Snoop Dogg has lived through eras most artists didn't survive. He's seen friends pass away. He's seen industries flip. He's seen money rise and disappear. Maybe his calm isn't compliance. Maybe it's wisdom. But on the other side, maybe Katt Williams is right. Maybe when you get too close to power, you slowly start protecting it. Maybe when your table gets bigger, your voice gets quieter. Maybe comfort can dull the edge that once made you dangerous. And that tension, that's why this conversation matters. Because this isn't just about celebrities. It's about growth versus loyalty. It's about evolution versus authenticity. It's about whether you can win the game without becoming part of it. So now the ball is in your court. Do you believe Snoop has simply grown up and moved strategically? Or do you believe he drifted too far from the fire that built him? Is Katt being brave? Or is Katt stuck in a mindset that doesn't allow evolution? Think about it. If you were in Snoop's position, decades of success, businesses, partnerships, employees depending on you, would you move the same way you did at 25? Would you risk everything for loud statements? Or would you choose calculated moves? And if you were in Katt's position, watching legends you once admired shift closer to power, would you stay silent? Or would you speak up? There's no easy answer. That's why this moment feels bigger than headlines. Because every artist, every leader, every public figure eventually faces this crossroads. Stay wild and risk everything, or adapt and risk criticism. Some people call adaptation selling out. Others call it maturity. Some call speaking out courage. Others call it self-sabotage. What matters is intention. And intention is something only Snoop truly knows. Maybe he believes he can influence change from the inside. Maybe he thinks sitting at powerful tables gives him leverage. Or maybe he just doesn't feel like fighting battles that don't serve his long-term vision anymore. But here's the part you can't ignore. Perception shapes legacy. If enough people believe you switched up, that belief becomes part of your story. And if enough people believe you stood firm, that becomes your story too. Legends aren't just built by talent, they're built by narrative. Right now, the narrative is being debated in real time. And that's where you come in. Because culture doesn't belong to celebrities. It belongs to the people. It belongs to the fans who supported from day one, the listeners who stream the music, the communities who turn songs into anthems. Your voice matters in this conversation, so don't just watch, engage. Ask yourself what authenticity means to you.
Does it mean staying loud no matter the cost? Does it mean evolving and protecting your empire? Or does it mean finding a balance, even if that balance makes some people uncomfortable? And here's something deeper to think about. Sometimes we expect our heroes to stay frozen in time. We want them to be who they were when we first connected with them. But people aren't statues. They grow, they shift, they adapt. The real challenge is deciding whether that growth feels genuine or calculated. Katt Williams is betting that too much calculation can erase the raw spirit that built a legend. Snoop Dogg seems to be betting that longevity requires flexibility. Two strategies, two philosophies, and history will decide which one ages better. But right now, you get to decide what you believe. Do you think Katt's last warning is a wake-up call or just noise? Do you think Snoop's calm is power or surrender? Drop your thoughts, have the conversation, respectfully, because this moment isn't about tearing anyone down. It's about examining what we value. Authenticity, loyalty, growth, power. All of it matters. And if this situation teaches anything, it's this: fame doesn't protect you from criticism, success doesn't silence questions, and legends aren't immune to accountability. At the same time, evolution isn't betrayal by default, and growth isn't weakness. So before picking sides, take a breath. Look at the full picture. Both men built incredible careers. Both have impacted culture in huge ways. Both have taken risks. Maybe the real takeaway isn't choosing a winner. Maybe it's understanding that staying real looks different at different stages of life. Or maybe it's realizing that truth and strategy don't always mix cleanly. Either way, this conversation isn't going anywhere, because when icons clash, even indirectly, the culture listens. So what do you think? Is Katt protecting the soul of the culture, or is Snoop mastering the art of survival? Sound off, speak your mind, keep it thoughtful, keep it real, because at the end of the day, the culture moves with the people, and the people are you.